What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back with our second of the day and the Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and timestamp this thing. Super Bowl Sunday 2024. We had a nice live today talking about, Colorado and all the great revelation that came out this week. Talked about a lot of different things about, what's going on in the Super Bowl and how Coach Prime took some players down there with them. And we got Coach Sapp made his announcement. We didn't really get that much into that. We kind of got to some different stuff. But, the DC was named this week. Coach Sapp said he's going to be the grad assistant. And we talked a lot about, some of the things Shador talked about from the last offensive coordination, about these option pass routes and all of that good stuff. And, how we expect things to be different, and why. Not just hope and hate say people don't have logic, but logically how and why the differences will come and what the shortcomings were and why we think Colorado do what they're doing based off the new information we have and the positives. And there's some positives. And of course, there's some potential negatives in anybody's team, but I think people severely and seriously going to kind of overlook Colorado, and it's going to be a problem. I think the Big 12 conference is decent, but I'm also thinking that's not the type of conference that want to overlook Colorado. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting team. And one of the things that stand out, and kind of the theme of what we talking about today, is relationships and like how they matter. Because clearly last year Colorado had a bunch of little isms and schisms that they tried to politically ride over. But it's leaking out. And we saw it kind of leak out last year about selfish ball when you talked about, when we saw what Smoke said. Now, here he tried to say something else, but he must have went and deleted it. But, he was talking about, selfish ball and everybody was alluding and stuff. And we kind of seen some of it come out doing a documentary on what possibly was going on. Then we see the OC go, DC go, line coach go. Players go, we expect players to go, they're not playing or whatever, but and still some more might go. But, when you have a team that's not really together, you can have these issues because when that pressure is applied, it's going to expose the weak spots. It's going to expose the holes, no matter how small they are. And that's like in everything you do. You don't know what kind of pressure life going to, expose you to. And you just want to have solid people around you, solid relationships around you, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to stand if it's holes. Their pressure is going to expose how they really feel. Are they really committed? Are they really dedicated? Do they really feel for you like they claim? All of this is exposed when situations come up unexpectedly. Sometimes you expect stuff and it still don't happen the way it should, but you definitely don't have really any chance in that case if some things hit you that you don't, because that's when relationships kick in. And that's what Coach Prime has been talking a lot about. He learned from last year. You see the guys hanging out together that went skiing with the linemen. We've seen a couple of new guys down. They say it was Hodge, and I know Chidozie and Seedon was there in Vegas. And he allowed them to kind of experience life, not just his sons. And people say it's about the sons. Well, more than his sons were there. And these are guys who are the future. He's trying to push those. He said on camera, I'm trying to get you out there. So it makes sense he out there with all these NFL people and owners and things like that he was able to get out there and network and put his face out there at that. But in that space, who gets to be in that space? What other college players you see out there? See, that environment was only for, superstar college players. Heisman winners and contenders, that's typically who you would see. And even then, they're not necessarily in that situation where they can experience that unless they like at a Reggie Bush level when he was at USC. Coach Prime is providing these boys everything. They can't say they're not getting an opportunity. All they got to do is go perform. And I believe most of them will. Chidozie is better off at Colorado. People know who he is, and they're going to be able to see what he can do. And Coach Prime is giving him every opportunity to rub elbows, not just with him, but within his resources. So when you look at it, his kids are getting optimal exposure because of their relationship with him, and they're able to build other relationships that's going to expand their life. And that is that prime effect. That is that factor that most people hate. That is that prime effect that most people underestimate. Why do these players want to go there? That they say on the NIL, whatever it is, maybe it was his shoe, NIL, whoever, they sponsor them to Las Vegas, one. Two, they get the benefit from all the coverage that comes with well off. Not necessarily, I don't know what else, they do in other interviews, it wouldn't matter. Because they're there, getting experience, and they're on well off, which gets thousands and hundreds of thousands of views. And they're going to continue to be on it. So we got to look at it for what it is. Relationships make a difference. Bad relationships make a difference. Good relationships make a difference. And the more good relationships you have, the better your chances of success are. We all can learn from that because, I look at business. I'm a business person. I'm in the real estate space. I've added home services to my repertoire. And when I look at what, from a marketing perspective, what they tell us to do, it's not all about ads. Yeah, everybody tell you run ads, Google ads, some people run Facebook ads. But one of the things that really works that a lot of people don't do, because I've seen it when I go to certain spaces, the numbers just not there. And the people who really win in life are the ones who go join those, those communities where those networking groups, the Chamber of Commerce, local Chamber of Commerce, and those people really attach themselves to people who are making decisions, and they see them consistently build a relationship. And a lot of people who would love to meet those people don't, because they're not there, and they're not investing in being there financially or with time. They're not going to be there every month or however often they do it. So therefore, the people who are there have even more value because they stood out from their competition. They stood out from other people who might want to reach these people because they're consistently and they're in their face. And it's like, that's how relationships work. It exposes those who don't want to put that time in, who don't want to do the work, who don't want to invest. And that's makes the difference in our business. And I believe that's what's making the difference in Colorado. Coach Prime is putting in the time, not just on the field, but off the field with these boys. He's living up to what he promised. So many coaches promise boys stuff and they get out there and treat them like they don't even know him. And he's living up to his promises to these players and to their families. I'm going to help them get to the next level and whatever it is in their careers, whether it's football or not. I'm invested in them become a better person, and I'm going to teach them how to live and build relationships. Right? We look at Coach Prime, that's what he's mastered. The resources that he had, the connection that he have, go all the way back to college a lot of times. Definitely in the pros, he got a lot of former teammates and people who he interacted with, and even after his career in the media world. And he's using these relationships, even to this day, to help bring the light to his teams. He's using these relationships to this day to help benefit his university with sponsors in the same way he did at Jackson State. Relationships. That's what we're talking about. It's a beautiful thing. Super Bowl week, Super Bowl Sunday. It showed a lot about how he's leveraging them relationships to help him and everything that's attached to him is going up because of his relationships. You seen his relationship with Nike and how he rolled out the new shoe and how he's using that to promote, and how that all rolls back to Colorado and their exclusive deals and shoes, and everything rolls back, but it's like an orbit around him because of the relationships he's established. I want a lot of people notice that. They talk, they hate, they say all these different things. They haven't mastered the art of relationship themselves. They should be learning. Because if you were smart, you wouldn't be burning bridges and wouldn't be hating on people if you really understood and value relationships. So you might want to learn something because he's definitely one of the masters of that, especially in his space. But I'm just, Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Catch more content like this. And I'll talk to y'all soon.